Hello everyone, Boyce is here, and today we'll be talking about all the shadow items that are present in TFT set 5 and the tier list about them, which carries are good to. Let's go. So I'm just gonna be going over one after another and classify them in the tier list. So first off, Infinity Edge. This one is just okay. I would just put it in the A tier, just because you're gonna be dealing 5% of your maximum health as true damage. So it's just a good item. It's just not great. You rather have other shadow items if you do have an AD carry, but if you do get with the IE, it's totally fine. A tier. Shroud, I mean, this is just bad because, well, you're shrouding basically your whole team as well. So I really don't think it's worth it. Just don't do it. D tier. Fifth gloves, you just get 2 shadow items in the pool basically of items that you can get from the fifth gloves. It's great. It's just good. A tier. Good to go. Trap Claw. So Trap Claw is like super specific in lobby, but if you do it in the right lobby, it's like S plus in a tier. So this would be really great when you have units that have a long ability like Vel'Koz or Syndra, and you get Trap Cloud, get teleported to it, and then you can kill the unit. Specifically, the Vel'Koz or Syndras are the 2 I'm thinking of right now. So in a way, it's an anti-spell waiver item. Yeah, so really, really strong. I would put it in the S tier for sure. QSS, I mean, immune to card control for the entire fights, fantastic on some units, especially on assassins. I'm thinking Nocturne, Diana, maybe Viego, depending, right? Because if you want your Viego to guaranteed to steal units, well, this is your item, right? And in that case, it's A tier. Otherwise, if you're thinking on maybe a Vayne or Draven in the backline, losing 25 health is actually quite a lot, which I'm not really, too happy with. So for units like Assassins, it's great because you just want the fight to be done as fast as possible anyway. Otherwise, it's not that good, so I would just put it in the A tier. Last Whisper, you're shredding yourself basically, and I just don't like it, right? That's just the benefit of shredding more is not worth you being shredded. D tier, just don't do it. Drew Gauntlet, it's just a good one. You're losing 20% every time you cast. So basically, when you do cast, you have to make it count. If that happens, great. If that doesn't, that's just bad. I would just put that item in B tier. Hand of Justice, so now instead of getting one, you get both. And again, this item is so flexible that you can put it on any carry anywhere. S plus. Like, it's just, this will fit everywhere in any comp. So it doesn't matter if you have an AD, AP carry, it will gladly take more damage, it gladly take some healing from it. So, go for it. Even if it's expiring, you should be able to renew it pretty fast. So it doesn't matter. Shojin, it is great for tanks that if you want to CC a lot, otherwise it's just not that good. I would just put it as B tier. You're not going to put this on a Syndra or the Vel'Koz because you want them to do the damage. So yeah, I would see that as tanks where you don't care about damage, but if you do cast a lot and CC a lot, you win the fight. So we just put it at B tier. Frozen Heart, you're affecting your own unit. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. D tier. Yeah. Redemption. Okay, this is broken. Like, this is actually broken. This is like Soraka from set 3. Every 5 seconds, you heal 50% of every ally you have. Just at the sacrifice of 1 unit, 10% current health. It's nuts, okay? Like, if you don't know what to build as shadow item and you have a belt, it's either going to be the Redemption or the Z0 that will go later. S tier, definitely play it. Chalice, you're just sacrificing basically 1 ability power of a unit to gain 90 ability power overall over 2 hours. I see that being worth. You can sacrifice maybe a Lux or something that doesn't do any much damage anyway, and then have it on bigger damage tiers like Valkors or other units. So I can see that being a good item. I would not prioritize it on as far as the list goes, but it's a good item. A tier. Static Shiv, this is just not good. Just because you potentially would think of putting this on AD carry, but the fact that it's halving your AD, it's really bad for Draven, really bad for Aphelios. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. I would just put it in a C tier. The new Ludens, in a way, I think this is great on specific units like Valkos, I think being the best. Yeah, great item for all the spell waivers and mana dealers, basically. Maybe Armordinger will be a good one. Timo will be another. Yeah, it's great. I would put that in the A tier list. Blue buff, so they actually changed it because it was saying that the Hoarder's mana was set to 10. Now it just says gain 10 mana. So now it's actually just useless. Just don't do it. If you have a tier, I would rather just Redemption, like every time. D tier. Gunblade, so this is just too situational, right? You basically want your secondary carry to be close to your primary carry and dealing enough damage so it heals your primary carry. And that doesn't make much sense to me. Like, I would rather have a shadow item on my primary carry that can heal me, like a BT, for example. So yeah, I would just put that in the C tier. Okay, Locket is S tier. This is so good. You sacrifice basically 5 mana, but just because you're gonna have to auto attack 1 more time to cast an ability, you will always do that just because you are taking 25% reduced damage on 4 different units. So this on the front line, even backline actually, it's just huge. It's huge. S tier, like, no doubt. Morello, yeah, okay. They are gonna get burned for the entire fight. Great, but that's it. I would just put it in a C just because it does nothing special. It's just when it burns, it just burns until it dies, basically. So yeah, after 25 seconds, basically the whole map is dead, right? You kill everybody because they are doing 100% of the maximum health over 25 seconds. So I only see this item being good if you're playing against Ironclad Mystic kind of composition. Otherwise, it's really bad. So I would just put it in a C, maybe B tier in that case, but that's it. Ionic Spark, don't do it. Like, you're basically zapping yourself and giving AP to your opponent. So just don't do it. Rageblade. Rageblade is great. I will put that in the A tier. 8% attack speed every time you attack. Stacks infinitely. Yes, you're going to be doing 2% of your maximum health as true damage each attack. But usually, if you play the Rageblade, you usually play BT with it. And in that case, you don't really care about the 2% because you will hit it back anyway. Which is why I have the BT here on Draven, and here this combo right here on Aphelios is fantastic, by the way. If you didn't know how to atomize Aphelios, go for this. It's disgusting. Really, really strong. Rabadon, again, it's just great. You gain AP, you lose a quarter of your health. You know, I would think it's just worth it if you need to just dealing a lot of damage. There would be better shadow items to use, but this one would definitely be okay. A tier. Same with Deathblade. It's the same thing with just AD. I'm okay with that. A tier. So GA, you would never put this on Rangers or Draven just because you're gonna be halving your attack speed for the rest of the combat after GA procs, and that's just never good ever on any of those units. So I'm down to put this on maybe Rise or Armordanger, something like that. Much better on AP users, basically Vel'Koz. Some of those units will be definitely better. And it does its job. It's 100% back to health, immune to CC when it revives, so, you know, it's great. We put that in the A tier. Ziggs is either S tier or D tier, depending on the comp you play. If you're playing, for example, Vayne reroll with Vayne, with those items, is nuts. If you have a Ziggs, to make sure she's casting and doing true damage to everybody super, super fast, this is fantastic, right? Otherwise, with Rangers, it's good too. But that's it. Those are basically the two comps. You can maybe put it on Draven, but I think Draven with Legionnaires is going to have enough attack speed anyway. So, yeah. I would just put that in the B tier just because it's right now good for two comps. Hopefully, it would be good for more later. BT, this is fantastic. S tier, no doubt. It synergizes really well with the Shadow Rage Blade, which I explained before. Yeah, every time you heal back to 90, just gain 3 attacks, 30% attack speed. The Rage Blade will consistently deal damage to you, then you will heal it back up with the BT. You're just gonna gain infinite attack speed. You win the fight. Having the fights at 33% max health doesn't change much, just because you will be dealing so much damage anyway that you will heal it. Yeah, S tier. And this is another S tier as well. Giant Slayer is disgusting. This is basically melting any tanks, any Ironclad, any Knights, Cavaliers, whatever it is. If it has more than 1100 HP, which every 2-star, 3, 4, 5 cost is going to have anyway, you were dealing 45% bonus damage. That's huge. Like, that's huge. Ability and attacks, by the way. So you can put that on Spellweavers, you can put that on Draven, Aphelios, you can put on any carry and it will work. Yeah, it's just straight up S tier. Really strong. Titans. Every 4 seconds, it's just basically gonna absorb the damage and you're gonna put that damage back as true damage. Yeah, this is nuts. Especially on Jax. Jax is being one of the best carriers right now. I do think that this item will be core to him, to be honest. Because all you have to do is Titans, Bramble, Declaw. With Skirmisher is gonna gain AD every second. Is gonna deal true damage with Titans, and good luck killing him with Bramble and Declaw. And yeah, I don't see how you would beat that. The only way would be, I guess, the Moello over 25 seconds if you didn't die by then. But yeah, this is nuts. S tier, 100%. Another S tier again that would be Zizirot. So the minion will have less health, but when it dies, it does true damage, AoE true damage to multiple units, which I think is huge, especially later in the game. So yeah, if you have belts, again, Redemption, Zizirot, really strong shadow items. S tier. Hurricane, I mean, instead of one bolt, it's two. It's doing 60% of the order's attack damage, which is a little less, but that's fine. It's your crit, okay. It doesn't apply on hit effects, that's fine. Again, this is perfect for Draven, Rangers, and Vayne also. This is just great. This is core on Vayne, I think, for sure. But again, if you do have IE, BT, and Hurricane on your Draven, that works. That just works. Same with Rangers if you have that on Kidrid or Aphelios. Fantastic. Go for it. Sunfire, just don't do it. Like, it's just don't do it. It's D tier. You're gonna burn yourself, and in the late game, this will not provide any value. If you want to burn in the late game, just play Morello. Yeah, just don't do it. D tier. Warmogs, it's another one that's like, I would just rather have Redemption or Zizirot if I have the belt. Just because of that reason, I would just put it in C tier. I see it being usable on certain tanks, but just the other items are so much better right now. Zephyr, so Zephyr is actually huge because, first of all, it's ignoring CC. So it doesn't matter if you have a QSS, even the Shadow QSS, you're still gonna get Zephyred. Also, instead of 5 seconds, it's 8. So it's, a good chunk of a fight, being that unit not present for the round, so that's kind of huge. However, when it does come back, you gain him 30 AD and 30 AP. So you have to make sure that during those 8 seconds, you did destroy enough of the team or the front line that Zephyr on, for example, a Draven, the Draven cannot kill you with that additional AD. Otherwise, it's going to be really hard. It's a great late game item, I think. I would put it in the A tier, definitely usable. Gargoyle, I mean, it's okay. You're gonna heal 70 health every second. Sure, it's not that great because you're not gonna take much damage anyway unless you throw frontline. But it's just okay. B tier. Both Rainbow and Declo, I think, are in the A tier. By the way, Declo, you can crit with it now, and that's huge. Brembor is the same, it reduces the damage by 50%, and this one by 15%. It just, you won't take any AD or AP damage, so they're both good. A tier. RFC, I don't think the Shadow RFC is worth it. I would put that in the C tier because I can see it being useful. But otherwise, I don't see it. Having sometimes 40% attack speed. Usually, when you want attack speed with bows, you're gonna play Rangers or Legionnaires, and you already have the attack speed. All right, so I don't see this item being, that good. I would just put it as a B here. And of course, for Force of Nature, yes, you're gonna take double damage, but let's be honest, if you have additional 2 units on board, I'm expecting you should win the fights unless you're trolling. But yeah, like 2 phones, even if you take double damage, you should be winning fights. So that's, S tier for sure. That's it for this video, guys. I think I described everything well. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments or on my Discord, and I will see you guys next time.